Trail cameras are unbelievable. They have taken our game, at least for me personally. All the Reconics I'm running, they're a constant eye out in the deer woods for me. And they have made hunting so much easier in the areas you can use them. It's not even funny. That said, make sure your cameras are working for you, not against you. You would not take your stinky shirt, throw it out next to your stand. Why are you taking a stinky camera and putting it next to your stand? Don't. Treat your cameras for odors. Don't store them in stinky locations such as just sitting on the shelf out in the garage. You do that, guess what? They're going to pick up those odors. Don't just throw them in a heap down in the basement. You do that, they're going to pick up the odors from there. Instead, go ahead and use sealed containers. You do that, I wipe them all down with field wipes before use. I go ahead and wash my hands, spray my gloves down with scent killer before handling these cameras. You do that, you're not being winded while you're not even out in the woods. Okay, next, check for camera noise. If that's a loud camera, instead of putting it right here, right in that deer's face, set it up here, angle that camera down. And rather than have it in multi-shot burst where it goes click, 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 have it take one picture. You do that, and all of a sudden, even those old, loud, noisy, rancid cameras, they miss an amazing amount, but at least they're not spooking deer. Okay. Then, lastly, in the off season, don't yank your cameras. At that point, put them in those high impact locations. Up until then, you don't want to be going in those high impact locations because you're allowing your cameras and your scouting to handicap your hunting by educating the deer doing so. So instead of doing that, you put them in low impact locations where the deer are coming from those higher impact locations, figure it out that way, and then once season stops, once it's done, that is when you take those cameras and you put them in the highest impact locations that you want intel on. Okay. Now, will patterns change? They certainly may. But at the very worst, what you have is you have an insight on how deer are utilizing that area. Trail cameras are incredibly powerful tools. Just make sure you cut odors, take the loud, noisy cameras, put them up high in single shot burst, and use them in low impact locations during season. That way, you don't end up having them hurt your hunting efforts, instead they help them. Then, once season closes, now move them back into those high impact locations and get that intel.